Truth and bullshit are not two sides of the same coin. Bullshit has a self-serving agenda for its group and is thus a directed force, it's an influence, it has a direction, it wants to go somewhere. In this context, what is truth? Well, it's not a force. Instead, it's an ideal. An ideal does not directly engage in the evolutionary struggle. Truth will be there even if no one believes in it, because it just is. It's not in the fight for survival like other ideas. That's the difference between an idea and an ideal. The ideal will always be there. And in what fight are ideals in? In none. They just exist. They are not part of the evolutionary struggle of ideas. And this is one of the main things that I want you to remember from this video. The truth cannot fight for itself. We have to fight for it. The truth has no power. It's only an ideal. So the fight is actually between a very loose coalition of bullshit promoting groups, of course, each promoting their own bullshit, and they also compete with each other directly. And there are some truth promoting groups and individuals which are smaller and small. Since all of the participants in the fight are humans who have the strong biological attraction to any emotionally serving factor of the truth, the bullshit coalition has been, is, and unless we totally reform our education system, it will always be bigger. But bigger does not mean stronger. No, that's not a sumo fight. This is why we have a chance. Because bullshit is not built to fight truth. Truth is a minority. There are very little truth-believing individuals. They don't have the same directed force as the bullshit that has some self-serving agenda for the group. Bullshit is not built to fight truth. Bullshit is built to fight other bullshit. That's what you should remember. The bullshit is not built to fight truth because the danger to the bullshit is not the truth, but an even stronger bullshit that would take away the members of the weaker bullshit. Stories are in an evolutionary battle, while truth is an ideal which is just supported by a small fringe group of people. Stronger bullshit is a bullshit that's not closer or further from the truth, because that's not how this works, but it's just a more uniting, more sticky, and more beautiful. For the people trapped in a strong bullshit story, objective truth on the matter is out of reach. It's irrelevant, it's lost already. The battle is lost for the moment. It can be won again later, but for the moment, it's lost. And for this bullshit story, the danger is not truth, which is far, far away. It's another bullshit, because all of the bullshit stories aggressively try to steal people from each other, steal people from their groups. Do you know that historically in all countries with Marxism-Leninism, the first thing that the Communist Party did was immediately ban and repress all organized religion. For example, Orthodox Christianity in Russia. Why? Well, communism has one utopia story and religion has kind of another utopia story. So this is direct bullshit competition. We don't exactly know if the Christian utopia story is bullshit, but it doesn't matter because this is not a level of fighting for truth or false. It's a fight of one very sticky utopia story and another very sticky utopia story, which means that the one that gets the power will immediately try to completely destroy, just annihilate the other one. So this is why they got true Christian believers in the Soviet Union and sent them to the gulags to die, because it was too dangerous to have a direct competitor in the bullshit arena. The truth team is much smaller, but it has one goal: fight the bullshit. So it is oriented in the right direction, while the bullshit is not. There are no multiple versions of the truth, so there is less infighting within the team. It's very well prepared for this David versus Goliath battle. When the truth team clashes hard with a member of the bullshit coalition is bigger, but usually the truth team wins, because once you are in the truth team, you have the tools to resist bullshit. And the truth team almost never loses members to the bullshit coalition. The bullshit coalition loses members to the truth team all the time. People suddenly get out of the fog, they see that they have been believing in bullshit, and they join the truth team. It's not a problem that people don't leave the bullshit coalition. The problem is that new people join all the time. And of course, these people are just new young people that enter the arena of ideas, and they may be members of weaker bullshit camps. The main problem with this dynamic is that Team Truth is small and cannot monitor all the bullshit that is forming everywhere in accordance with evolutionary forces. So bullshit is the normal thing with our biology. There is no prevention, and we do late partial damage control when a bullshit story gets out of hand. For example, when accounts become huge, stuff like this. And it's very sticky, and it fills the psychological hole in the lives of people, as we mentioned with the flat earthers. So if it's something like religion, it can survive thousands of years. And of course, religion has good and bad sides, but here we're not talking about good or bad or true or false, we're talking about sticky, how sticky it is. And if it's sticky, then people don't leave, and this camp of the bullshit coalition just becomes larger. In this model, the big loose bullshit coalition, the smaller group of elite fighters from Team Truth, reach something like a dynamic equilibrium. In modern times, the dynamic equilibrium is swinging much faster than it was in previous times because we have the internet with all its good and bad sides, and it has great things like Wikipedia, which is a great anti-bullshit tool with its very good neutrality principle. And we have the approaching AI revolution, which can scale the efforts of Team Truth so that, for example, everyone has, let's say, an AI agent that can fact-check stuff and fight for the truth. And there are hopeful signs. But on the other hand, on a more systemic level, the rise of populist politicians is a huge warning for the existential danger of the spread of those bullshit stories and the effect that can have on society. So we can go in either direction. Now is a critical time for humanity in terms of the truth versus bullshit struggle. Let's see 4 separate questions. Why fight for the truth in ourselves? Is it worth the resources? And then, if we decide that it's worth it, how to do it? And then we can ask why fight for the truth in others, including our loved ones? And if yes, how to do it? Let's go through those one by one.